I remember during my primary school days when I was asked to recite the 7 colors of the rainbow using read over your green book in vacation. So that thought came into my mind yesterday and I decided to turn it into a bread dough, rainbow bread. So this was what I did. In a bowl, I measured out 300 grams of all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour, 40 grams of granulated sugar, 20 grams of milk powder, 5 grams of salt. Then I went ahead to mix everything together. After mixing that, I added my instant dry yeast. To that, I added 4 grams of instant dry yeast. And after adding my yeast, I also mixed together. The next thing I measured out my water. I measured about 150 grams of water. I used room temperature water and not hot water. Okay, make sure that you are using room temperature water if you want to get the exact consistency and the type of dough I got. I added a little bit of this water to the center of these dry ingredients, and to that I added 1 teaspoon of banana flavor. You can choose to use any flavor of your choice. Okay, feel free to use any flavor of your choice. Then the next thing I did was to make sure that I combined this very well to form a soft dough that is not too sticky to the hands. Not that it's not going to be sticky, but it's not going to be like when you have a batter that will be too sticky to your hands. No. Just a little bit, okay? So that's it. And once my dough was formed, I went in with about 12 grams of butter or margarine, whichever one you have, you can just use it. So make sure that I mixed everything and incorporate everything into this dough before starting to knead the dough. So once the butter or the margarine was well incorporated into the dough, you can see that it doesn't stick much to my hands. Then I transferred this onto my work surface and then I started kneading it. Like I will always say, for those that have been following my videos or my bread or any of my dough videos, you must have noticed or understood my kneading process. So I went ahead, hit and then hit and then hit. Then my dough was soft. You hit and roll. You can use the hitting of the dough on the work surface, hitting the dough with the rolling pin, and then rolling out the dough with the rolling pin as well, and then bringing it together till the dough is very soft. To know if your dough is ready, you will discover or you find out that the dough will start having some areas that are puffy, like puffing up, you understand, on some areas, just as you see. That is a sign that your dough is almost ready, and you're going to what next you have to do is to wrap the dough and then cover it, keep it in a separate place or in a warm place, or just keep it by the side anyhow, and let it stay there for up to 20 minutes or 30 minutes depending. You don't want it to like overproof. Just 20 minutes is okay, or 30 minutes is okay, but I usually leave my own for 20 minutes, okay, so that it will soften before I take the next step. So after the 20 minutes, I went ahead and then cut or divide the dough into 7 equal parts. I would have divided it into 8 equal parts, but I just forgot anyway. But it's not bad. The 7 parts are okay as well. But the 8 part, I had wanted to use the last part to wrap up the dough so that the colors will be inside, while that the white or the plain part will cover the dough. But nonetheless, it's not bad as well. So after dividing into the 7 parts, I started adding my colors. So the one you are seeing me adding color, just the way I set it, the first one in the front here is I'm going to be adding red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So that's the 7 colors of the rainbow. So I first added the red. So the reason I added red in these last two up there is because they are, when you have a mixture of red and blue, when you have a mixture of red and blue, it's going to give you violet or indigo. But if you want a deeper violet, you add a little bit of black. Okay, so now the first one here is red, second one is orange, yellow, green, blue. Then up there you have the indigo, which is a mixture of blue and red will give you indigo, and the other one, the last one, a mixture of blue, red and black will give you violet. So please, what I use here is not poster colors, it's not painting colors. Please, these are industrial food colors. In Nigeria, mostly you can also make use of the acabado color that you use in icing your fondant or icing your buttercream. Okay, you can also use any good brand of food coloring, please. But basically the gel one or the thick ones are better than using the liquid ones, because the liquid ones might alter the consistency of your dough. So after adding the colors on in each, you make sure you mix in the colors very well till they are properly mixed with the dough, just as you see in the video. Now here I have all my colors well mixed, and oh my god, look at how attractive these were. So these are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So now the next thing I did was to take each of these dough and flatten or roll them out. Okay, so while rolling out the dough, you may choose to use your flour or you may choose to use vegetable oil on your work surface to ease your rolling out of the dough. So after rolling each dough out, I had to place each dough on the other, just as you see in the video. So when you roll out, you place each dough on the other, just like when you are staking stuffs. So once you are done staking this or placing on each other, make sure that you don't roll it out too flat with your rolling pin, because these colors, if you roll them out too flat, they can join with each other and it will not give you that demarcation when they bake. Like, you're not going to kind of find out the colors differently. So that's why I didn't take time to kind of roll it too flat. Okay, just using my hands to just level them out or to push them out. Okay, then I had to roll them into a long log, then for me to place in my baking pan. So I had to grease my loaf pan, then transfer this dough into my loaf pan and then covered it and allow it to proof for some hours, 2 to 3 hours or so, depending on how long your dough took to rise. So after it has risen up to this extent, I transferred this into my preheated oven and I baked at 180 degrees C for 30 minutes. And once it was out, I brushed the top of the dough with some butter, or you can also use melted butter or melted margarine, and then and allow this dough to rest or to cool down completely. Then I wrapped it up to make sure that it's super soft and easy for me to enjoy. So I couldn't wait, like like I was so interested in seeing how this bread turned out, like so I just cut it open and oh my god, the inside was super attractive. Like, the rainbow was really rainbowing. You can see the colors, how the colors were in swirl, like in swirl. Believe me, just go and try this recipe and let me know in the comment section how it turned out for you. See you guys in my next video. Bye bye.